Ever get the feeling you're the last sane person in a world of walking red flags and emotional tripwires? As if everyone around you is just looking for a button to push. Well, consider this. What if you could move through all that chaos completely untouched? We're talking Jedi force field levels of serene. By the time this video is over, you will have a playbook on how to remain calm when people challenge you, how to dismantle petty drama, and how to navigate life with a kind of emotional Teflon. These aren't just empty affirmations. These are 10 strategic mindsets that will make others wonder if you've achieved enlightenment or simply run out of dams to give. Mindset Weapon 1. The Calm Assassin's Code. Have you ever read a message that made you clutch your phone so tight you could crack the screen? Or sat through a meeting where someone casually undermined your entire contribution while you just nodded and smiled like you were in a hostage video? That's the battlefield of everyday life. It's time for an upgrade. Become the Calm Assassin. This isn't about being polite, it's about being impenetrable. You stop giving them the first reaction. No wincing, no rushing to justify your energy. You just breathe, become still, and let their chaos hang in the air unanswered. That silence isn't empty, it's power. The Calm Assassin doesn't need to shout. They don't over-explain. They simply offer a slow, deliberate blink that says, "Are you finished?" It's deeply unsettling because people are hardwired to expect a reaction. When they don't get one, their own energy spirals while you take a sip of your coffee like you're judging an amateur talent show. Stillness is the ultimate power move. You're not frozen in place, you're coiled and ready. Say less, observe more. That is how you transform from someone who is easily provoked into someone unreadable and utterly unbothered. Mindset Weapon 2. The NPC Energy Detector. Some people don't converse with you, they just dump a stream of static in your direction. You offer a simple hello, and they unleash a 5-minute monologue about how their barista misspelled their name again. Halfway through, you have a realization. This isn't a dialogue, it's a broadcast, and I'm the captive audience. That's NPC energy. They are the background characters of life. Everyone deserves access. Guard your mental bandwidth like it's the last Wi-Fi signal in a dead zone. You only have so much capacity. Don't waste it on people who are perpetually buffering. Mindset Weapon 3. The Trigger Sniper. Have you ever erupted into a full-blown verbal volcano over something minor, like someone breathing too loudly or sending a one-letter K reply? Then, 10 minutes later, you're left wondering, why did I go to DEFCON 1 over that? The issue wasn't the minor annoyance. That was just the tripwire. The actual explosive was planted years ago. To be a trigger sniper is to identify your own internal explosives before someone else stumbles upon them, or worse, detonates them on purpose. Some people don't just trigger you by accident. They probe for your sensitivities like emotional demolition experts just to see the explosion. Your mission is to map your own internal minefield before they do. If a phrase like, "you're being too sensitive," makes your blood boil, take note. That's a key location. Acknowledge it and work to diffuse it internally. The next time someone pokes that exact spot, you won't erupt. You'll just smirk. This isn't about becoming numb. It's about stopping emotionally broke people from taking out loans against your nervous system. If you want to be in control, it's time to sniper up. Mindset Weapon 4. The Drama No-Fly Zone. Certain individuals navigate life like it's their own personal reality TV show, and they're constantly scouting for new cast members. The danger is, if you aren't vigilant, you'll find you've been cast in a supporting role you never auditioned for. Suddenly, you're waist deep in an argument about who unfollowed whom back in 2017. It's time to establish your drama no-fly zone. This is your personal, invisible security checkpoint. No chaos, no gossip, no emotional baggage is permitted. When you hear something juicy, you smile, nod, and let it pass right over you. You are not the runway for their baggage. Here is your go-to line. "Wow, that sounds complicated. I hope you get it sorted out." Say it with a neutral expression and observe how quickly people stop trying to give you a front row seat to their personal circus. Drama needs fuel to survive: reactions, comments, and secret alliances. You starve it by refusing to participate. Make being angry. You chuckle. You don't offer an explanation. You drop a single sharp one-liner and pivot the conversation. You always have to have the last word. Yeah, it's a gift. Scene over. No lingering tension, no emotional damage. Humor makes you elusive. You can't be backed into a corner when you're genuinely amused by the absurdity of the situation. And when someone is truly determined to get under your skin, laugh with even more conviction. Nothing disarms an agitator faster than seeing you find joy in a moment they designed for your misery. This is not mere deflection, it is a form of dominance. Once you own the punchline, they have no more punches to throw. Mindset Weapon 6. The Emotional Timeout Protocol. Have you ever been in the middle of a conversation and felt your chest tighten? It's as if someone flipped a switch and now your mind is racing, your jaw is locked, and you are moments away from unleashing words you'll instantly regret. That feeling is your signal. It's time for a timeout. The Emotional Timeout Protocol is not about surrender. It's about refusing to give people a front row seat to your own unraveling. The moment you feel that emotional surge, you execute a smooth disappearance. I'm going to get some water. Excuse me, I need to check on something. Be right back. This is your tactical escape hatch. It is not a sign of weakness. It is an act of supreme control. If you remain in the heat of that moment for too long, you lose the ability to think and begin to simply react. That is how you find yourself sending lengthy, novel-like text messages, recording voice notes with the intensity of a courtroom prosecutor, or completely second-guessing yourself over one insignificant interaction. Your brain requires a moment to reboot. Step away, take a breath, and reset your system. Then you return to the situation calm, collected, and back in command. Mindset Weapon 7. The Power Statement Inventory. Have you ever left an argument only to have the perfect retort show up 3 hours too late? We've all been there. It's like having perfect hindsight in conversations. That is precisely why you need a power statement inventory. These are preloaded lines, strategic verbal exits, and moments of silence that speak volumes. This isn't about being inauthentic, it's about being prepared. Detachment. Just calm, precise delivery. The other person will either back down or become flustered. In either case, you win the exchange without ever raising your voice. Mindset Weapon 8. Control the frame. Have you noticed how some people can say the most outrageous things with such conviction that others just start nodding in agreement? That isn't a display of wisdom. It's a mastery of framing. If you don't control the frame of an interaction, you will be pulled into theirs. Before you know it, you're on the defensive, explaining yourself as if you're on trial for a crime you didn't even commit. Frame control is a simple concept. The person who sets the emotional tone of an interaction is the one in control. If someone calls you too quiet, you don't get defensive. You reframe it. I prefer to listen. I only speak when there's something valuable to add. Instantly, the dynamic shifts. If someone accuses you of being too sensitive, you can volley it back with, or perhaps the issue is a lack of sensitivity on your part. Let them grapple with that. This isn't about winning an argument. It's about achieving narrative dominance. You are no longer just reacting. You are rewriting the script with your tone, your timing, and a calm, almost detached confidence. The loudest person in the room is rarely the most powerful, but the one who controls the narrative is the one who leads. Mindset Weapon 9. Vibe Insurance. You know that feeling. You're having a perfectly fine day, and then a single conversation leaves you feeling so drained you'd swear your energy just got hacked. That's no accident. It's the result of having poor vibe insurance. And if you don't upgrade your policy, these emotional vampires will drain your entire account. Vibe insurance means you don't just let anyone wander into your mental space. They might be friendly. They might be charismatic. It doesn't matter. If your intuition starts screaming that something isn't right, that is a massive red flag. You do not owe everyone access to your time, your personal stories, or your energy. Being selective is not being rude. It is a fundamental act of self-preservation. Repeat this to yourself. My energy is not an unpaid internship.
You need to guard your peace like it's behind a password-protected firewall. The wrong person, given too.
There's no guilt, no unresolved tension, just a clean break. Alright, my time is up. Take care. The underlying message is clear. My need for peace is greater than my need for this conversation. The key is to never overstay your welcome. Don't get drawn into last-minute arguments. Don't make vague promises to catch up soon when you would rather wrestle a cactus. Just make your exit with dignity. Treating your time as valuable is a power move in itself. When you leave with clear intention, people take notice, especially those who assumed you would endlessly tolerate their nonsense. Being unbothered doesn't mean being cold-hearted, it means having absolute clarity about your boundaries. Once you master the art of the exit, every interaction becomes a choice, not a trap.